王幼体，你很多兴奋啊！
然后我想再赶快念一下一些嗜好。
你要不要成为
我是4，那我可以照你这个样子，给我分段。这个要念吗？
不用。
Why talking to your friends can help you save money? Changing people's financial behavior is difficult, but it is possible. One company that was looking to reduce energy consumption in Santiago tried to change people's behaviors by using science with one key sentence. What exactly was that sentence? Well, it turns out that science about protecting the environment or looking out for future generations, or science that focus on the amount of money that people will save were not effective in reducing consumers' energy consumption. Instead, the message that worked the best was a simple one that read, the majority of your neighbors are undertaking energy-saving actions every day. A similar message focused on what our neighbors are doing was used in the UK to incentivize British taxpayers to pay their tax on time. That simple change point out what other people are doing lead to an increasing collection of about 29%. Psychologist Robert Cialdini, who works on both of these studies, call this phenomenon social proof. He says people look to what others doing in order to guide their own behavior. It's no wonder then that we base a lot of our own physical decisions on what other people do. And unfortunately, what we most easily observe are other people's spending behavior, not their savings behavior. It's easy to notice if your friend goes on vacation or buys a new car or a spanking pair of shoes. And with social media, you can even keep tabs on the shopping habits of the rich and the famous. Now, if someone with the lot, we expect them to spend more money, and they do it. But what's really interesting is what happens to their neighbors. A recent study found that close neighbors of lottery winners are more likely to borrow money, spend more on goods, and eventually declare bankruptcy. In fact, the larger the lottery winner, the higher the rate of bankruptcy among the neighbors of the lottery winners. Basically, the lottery winners' behavior is rubbing off on their neighbors. We are always aware of consumer spending, but what we are not aware of are other people's saving behavior. So, let's see that well. You can start with just a couple of friends instead of asking where they bought their new bike or the best time of year to travel to France. Ask them if they paid down their mortgage or if they having an emergency fund or if they paid off their student loan. Tell them about your own financial situation. To really make this a social affair, I encourage you to start celebrating paying down your debt. Maybe
对对对，好。So you spend lots of time to practice. 你有
对，
感觉你练得还蛮好的。啊，你很紧张吗？
还好一点点。
一点点。
Because your classmate speak quite well, so I let your classmate to speak longer. And there are some words she speak very clear, such as generations, and also instead, comma. She posts right here, instead, comma, and then continue the speaking. OK， 好，再来是林雨姐没有来，好，赖嘉诚。
直接开始就好。When we sing about negotiation, we sing about speech, like based on position, our and our power. Negotiation does not have to subside. Very silent. Constantly negotiate work. Negotiate for higher pay, promotion, negotiate secure resources for ourselves and our teams. So this is one mistake with the Facebook right. Negotiation is not about relationship and relationship development when we find ways to take and move together and to do that have to be well
I'm perfect。
练习一下。
其实很多发音都会练得还蛮好，只是你可能要大声一点。
因为有点
我知道，知道。So,
Okay, and your classmate actually he speaks clear, and also there are some pronunciation quite well. For example, speak out and reality. And in the beginning, he didn't know how to pronounce aspiration, and actually he wanted to ask me, but eventually he pronounced it by himself, aspiration. So I can show you that it's quite well
for him, when we think about negotiation, so negotiation, this was, I think, some of you have already practiced this very well. Negotiation, negotiate. We think about being tough. We charge in like it's a battle. And then there are questions come up. You know why? Because negotiation is not about dominating, okay? It is about crafting a relationship. So, and then first, come on, do you research, figure out, so as I mentioned, figure out whether what you are asking for is realistic. So you have to pay attention for this sentence. Figure out whether what you are asking for is realistic. Okay. So next, Wang Yishou.
Hi.
对。你能吗？没读过。没读过。好。
Earlier this year, I was in Taipei, Taiwan, where I decided I wanted to make a TikTok about cup noodle. Only this brilliant TikTok never happened because of the shock I got when I opened up the app and flipped it into selfie mode. The face looking back at me was a face, but not exactly my face. A whole array of beauty filters and automatically worked me over, and I could not turn them off. There was not much going on here. Skin smoothing, skin lightening, teeth whitening, nose narrowing, bigger eyes, and it gave me a thinner, softer jawline. This was a whole lot of non-consensual filtering, or what someone joked was forced catfishing. And for me, it's the perfect example of smoothing coded the technological jazz at work. What is it? Women have had to play to the male gaze forever. You know what that is. But the technological jazz describes an algorithmically driven perspective that we learn to internalize, perform for and optimize for, and then by talking in all our data, the machines learn to perform us in an endless feedback loop. We learn it so young, and estimated 80% of 13-year-old girls in America have already used filters or some kind of editing to alter their appearance online. And these days, the filters are hyper-realistic because they tend to be AI generated. They come with a suite of characteristics teaching us how to look. Things like arched eyebrows, or higher cheekbones, or plump lips. What then happens is we see the gap between the way we look in the mirror and the way we look in these filters. And the digital world begins to detect real world beauty standards. We've seen it in celebrity culture.
So this is your first time?
Yes.
Easy.
Yes. 变得很好笑。
不会啊，这个很好。
很累吗？
好。
So, because your classmates say that it is her first time to read this and even to watch this article. So I think it's quite well. And the voice, the tone, and also locking up and pronunciation is quite well. Okay, and then another one next is Wang Linai.
How much ice cream you can get for $1? Or pack in the airport. It's faster to go inside or outside. Probably not, but somehow. Answers as your questions and sharing those experiences have become my life activity. Now, however, I only have 5 minutes to share mine. Storytelling framework. Your stories should be chopped in less than 16 seconds, and it's not just about becoming relevant social media stuff. It's about making your conversation better. Whether you're with friends, family, or trying to convince your boss or friends. So here's how to make every second count. Many short stories start with a question, because it will let people think until the end to find out the answer. And remember, you want to get your reader's attention. So you want to start by asking something shocking. And one of the things I've always wondered, was it best book? Was really as best they say? So I answered journalists in the video and got over 45 million views. Let's check out how I took my views. Can I have the burger? Can you put cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes? That seems not hard at all. Nothing really wasn't hard to do. But as you can see, I took this question very seriously. And after you should check them on the jewelry.
哦，没有，不会让大家念完。可以先紧张吗？
So you have to speak loudly, and there is a word, drive through. If you went to the McDonald's and you drive your car, that is, you will use the drive through. Okay? 好，陈彦志。
We all know you should take a sick day or a mental health day, or even a personal day. But the financial day is just as important. Your money and your mind with Wendy de la Rosa. You deserve to take time to get your life in order. When you are on edge and under pursuit, employers, if you're watching this, you should also think about giving your employees a financial health day. Throughout this series, I've shown ways that you can change your environment so you can spend less and save more. But the secret ingredient for each type has been time. Calling your credit card company to change your interest rate takes time. Deleting an app of your phone takes time. And if you haven't had time to put this change into action, this is your chance. Mark a day on your calendar right now to devote to reorganizing your finance. Really commit to this day and make that day as productive as possible. But here are the big headlines that are the most important to cover, both from earlier tips and beyond. So first, I want you to focus on your fixed expense. Take the day to evaluate your bills. Can you truly afford your household payment? Is it time to start looking for a cheaper place? Do you need to switch to a low-cost cell phone provider? Do you need to trade your car for something else? This is the day where I really want you to think about those large fixed expenses and make that one-time change. Number 2, sign up for the boring but necessary stuff. Do you have life insurance? No, sign up now. Are you enrolled in your company's 401? No, sign up now. Are you contributing enough to that 401? No. Add your contribution rate right now. Number 3, if you haven't already, talk to your significant other about money. Get on the same page, it matters. Visit the link below a list of questions to help you get started.
你好，局长。你有练很多次吗？
没有。
可是你应该是以前就有自己在弹。好好。OK， 好。好。
So even though your company say that hey, just read this article in the morning, but I think some pronunciation is quite good. There are some pronunciation I have to mention to you, that is, if the word such as big, please, you have to pronounce X. And in addition, absolute. Okay, absolute. 好。问一下，刘汉元是今天吗？哦，是下礼拜。好 ，OK， 没有，因为我确认一下，唐明凯是今天还是下礼拜嘛？对。好，那邓曲妙。那接下来我们就是邓曲妙，然后林思雨、陈静文。哦，对，好，那叫他再顺好不好？然后这样让我这样，然后再来你直接用嘛，对不对？哦。对，再来就是肖维哲跟杨医生这样子。
I know you should take a sick day or mental health day or even a personal day, but a financial day is just as important. You deserve to take time to get your life in order. When you are on edge and under pressure, and for us, if you are watching, you should also think about giving your support rate.
involved in financial health today. So let's serious. I should say that you can change